Hello guys, this is a review of the movie Salt. This action movie was the movie that introduced me to the genre, or yeah, I think introduced is the appropriate word. I had already encountered many action movies, of course, but I was never into them or interested in them in the slightest. And this movie just changed everything for me. I think in part it has to do with age, because when you're a kid you watch these movies and you just don't understand like 80% of what's going on. At least me, that was me in particular. I was that type of kid. I rather watch animations and light comedies, stuff of that nature. But this does feature Angelina Jolie. We all know her. She's a very good actress. She has insanely good presence. And what really did it for me was the trailer. I remember I was just, scrolling down on the YouTube recommendation list, and I came across Salt, and I watched the trailer, and it got me so good. By the way, spoilers ahead. The trailer itself, it doesn't give away too much, and I'm gonna get into the plot after I mention this. But there's this Russian defector, they call him. He's in the CIA. He's about to be interrogated, and he's in the typical room with the glass wall and the table, two chairs. There's Evelyn Salt, so that's the name of the agent, CIA agent that Angelina Jolie portrays. And then there's the Russian guy, and they're talking. They're going over. He's telling her a story about. I'm kind of getting into the plot, but yeah, why don't I mix both of them? So the movie, let me just start with the plot, and then I'll get into the trailer and the experience that I had with that and how it brought me in. I'm just gonna mix everything up the way I usually do. I don't really have a pattern or a very sophisticated way about going with these reviews, but let's get started. The movie starts with Evelyn Salt being tortured in North Korea because she's suspected. They're suspecting she's a secret American agent, and since her then boyfriend was a very well-known and respected, how do you call those people that are experts on spiders, arachnologists? He was that, and so he like just brought it to the press, brought the attention. I phrased that wrong. He brought Evelyn's case to the attention of the press and the world, so they made a deal. They let her go. That's how the movie starts. She marries that man that I said helped her, and then the movie continues on a day where I forgot what year. I think it might even be their first year. I don't know, their anniversary, and she's getting ready to leave the CIA offices when they let them know that there's a Russian defector inside and somebody needs to interview him. She's fluent in Russian, so they let her go in there along with Ted, another co-worker. And she's going about the interview. He's telling her that there's this plan. And I'm not really good at explaining these things because I don't watch too many movies about spies and conspiracy theories and this and that, but basically he's telling them that soon the day is gonna come when they kill the American president, and it's all part of a plot by these Russian leaders that have been training children. They basically kill the parents of these kids. They train them since they're babies, and then they return them to the States as Americans. And they are American, but it's just so tricky because what was Evelyn's case? Evelyn had American parents. They had to travel to Russia because they were I don't know, they had a very high rank as teachers. They weren't just like regular teachers. And they got into a car accident. They trained Evelyn Salt. And I'm giving so much away, but they like the movie. This is probably the type of movie that you probably shouldn't watch what I'm gonna say. Maybe watch the movie and then come back to me. But anyway, yeah, she's trained. She's given another name. Her original name was Natasha, or yeah. And then they send her back, and this whole plot, like I mentioned before, is to kill the American president. They're gonna kill the Russian president first, and the plan is to wage a nuclear war between countries so that their Russian group could rise. Really don't have the words to describe it because, like I said, I'm not very knowledgeable on this subject. And as he's walking, he's telling them all of this, and everybody's hearing. All the agents are getting behind. Evelyn is there asking the questions, and it looks like she's not buying any of it. She's like, nah, I think this guy's just like making me lose my time, and it's my anniversary, let me leave. So as she's stepping out, she's like, the name of that agent, the agent that is sent with that like goal in mind. With everybody has the same goal. There are many agents, but this one's like the best one. Evelyn, supposedly. He's like, the name of that agent is Evelyn Salt. And she's like, my name is Evelyn Salt. Then you're a Russian spy. And that's what I watched in the trailer. And I know, like, I can't like do it the way that they did it. Obviously, you have to watch it for yourself. Google it, YouTube it. You're sure to find it. I should be like the most popular trailer, the main one. You know, some have like 3 million, 1 million. Look for the one with the most views and watch it. It was intense. I was like, run, you have to run. It really got me into it, and I was like, might as well buy this movie. It was $5 at Walmart. Amazing movie. So she's on the run. This whole time she's telling them, like, he knows my name. That means that he knows where my husband is. They know, they know about my husband. They're gonna kill him. The cover is just blown off. Let me go find him. They're not letting her. They're keeping her inside. So she escapes, and they're chasing her all the way over to her apartment. She realizes that they took him. She goes to meet with them because at that point you realize that she is the agent that the Russian defector was claiming she was. And she watches her husband get murdered. And this is where it kind of changes, because the theatrical version is not the same as this version. The extended version is the one that I'm referring to right now. And I believe in the theatrical version, she kills everybody in there. I believe. In the extended version, she doesn't kill the Russian secret double agents from Russia. She watches her husband die, and then she gets sent to this other place where she meets another agent, and it follows the story that way. In I believe the theatrical version, she just gets rid of them, so we know that she's against them now. I don't know if that makes any sense, or it might, like I said, if you want to watch it and you're like a DVD collector, buy this one because it comes with the extended version, the director's cut, the theatrical version. I'm probably not being very accurate with the differences because I only do watch the extended version. I'm sure I watched the other ones, but years ago, since this is not a new release. Yeah. And then she goes ahead, she's going to the White House. Everybody thinks she's gonna go kill the president, but she's actually there to save him from Ted, the co-worker that I mentioned before. He was the best at a grade higher than Evelyn. They were in training, but they were just not together, so she couldn't recognize him because they never met, even though he did know about her. And he was the guy that snitched on her. He was like, hey, you guys should come and test her because she got married and she might be wanting to betray us. She might have lost her course. But she did in fact lose it because she wasn't serving them anymore. She was serving the United States of America. So she goes in there, she has an epic fight. There's this amazing scene. I don't know if it's on the other cuts, but if you watch the extended cut, there's a scene where they discover them. She's like passed out because they shoot her or something. Yeah, they shoot her. She has a bulletproof vest, so she just kind of falls. And they're walking her because they're gonna take her to prison, I assume. And Ted is still believed to be the good guy, so they're giving him medical attention. He's sitting by some stairs. And as she's getting to go, she's handcuffed. She jumps over the railing of the stairs and hangs on to. Logically, if you jump over, like imagine this is a railing, you jump over, bloop, you just fall and die. But she uses the handcuffs to choke him and hang on. So she ends up like this. These are her feet, and this is the railing, and she's just holding on with the handcuffs to his neck. Such an awesome scene. Amazing, amazing, amazing scene. Very epic. The movie's filled with, like I said, filled with action. She's jumping off of like moving vehicles. She's walking on building walls, actually, or window frames. It's epic. It's an amazing movie. Very emotional. You feel the pain. You feel it. When she's watching her husband get murdered, it was the most painful thing in the world. It's super fun. Like I've loaned this to friends of mine. I've spoken about it with multiple people of various ages, and like from like 13 to I don't know 50 something, and they love it. This fun fact, this movie was actually supposed to be for Tom Cruise. So I guess that's what makes it so good, is that like she's not just sleeping around with men trying to like, oh, let me be, like trick you into coming with me so I could get what I want. She's just a badass, like a badass who happens to be a girl, and they don't play by the whole girl power thing. And I'm for girl power. Like I have the whole Xena collection right here, don't get me wrong, but what makes this movie different is that she doesn't need that. She's not there for her looks, she's not there for anything. She's just a very well trained killer who is using her skills against the people who trained her and killed her parents and her husband. So she has motives, you know. Even though she was brainwashed like all the other kids, she decided to stay with the United States. That's what the movie's about. The movie is amazing. It's really fun, really believable. There are scenes where I remember my mom was like, oh, that's impossible, like that's ridiculous. Like she was kind of like complaining that it just wasn't real, and I was like, you know, they had a stunt double actually perform that. And like the one where she's walking, where Angelina's walking on the wall, she actually did herself, obviously tied to strings, but you know, it's real. Like people could, like, it's human. It's physically possible for a human to perform, I'd say, almost every single action scene here. That's just makes it so cool, and the acting is amazing. Everything, like, I just really enjoyed this one. Like I said, it introduced me to the action genre, and I've watched several action movies after this. Amazing. I highly recommend it. I give it a 9 out of 10 in its category. We're going high. Thank you for watching.